The harsh overhead lights of Langford University's mathematics department buzzed softly, casting a sterile glow on the rows of exam papers sprawled across Professor Annette Whitaker's polished oak desk. Her sharp blue eyes scanned each paper with surgical precision, her expression fixed somewhere between contempt and disappointment. At 46, Annette had built a fortress of prestige and precision around herself. She was the reigning chair of the mathematics department, a 3-time recipient of the university's highest research honors, and she rarely encountered professional resistance. Another failed derivative, another red circle. She sighed. Another disappointing batch. Outside her office, the plaque gleamed, Dr. Annette Whitaker, Department Chair Mathematics. Behind her, framed diplomas and prestigious awards were perfectly aligned, symbols of her unwavering dominance in the world of numbers. Meanwhile, across the faculty hallway, the lounge buzzed with light chatter. Professors balanced mugs and gossip in equal measure. Annette stepped in, as usual commanding the room's attention with the precision of a queen surveying her court. "Annette, join us," called Dr. Carter from physics. "We're talking about the new faculty hires." Annette poured herself a black coffee into a mug adorned with calculus symbols. "Anyone noteworthy?" The history department picked up someone interesting. Young guy Marcus Reed. Came from Emory. Annette's brow arched ever so slightly. History? Well, I suppose someone has to teach the comfortable courses. Polite laughter rippled through the room, humored compliance, not camaraderie. Just then, a man stepped in. Tall, well-kept, mid-30s, with rich brown skin and a calm gaze that suggested he wasn't easily rattled. "Speak of the devil," Carter said. "Annette, meet Dr. Marcus Reed, our new history professor." Marcus extended a hand, his smile disarmingly warm. "Professor Whitaker, I've heard a great deal about you." Annette took his hand briefly. "Welcome to Langford. I hear you're from Emory." "Originally Atlanta. I specialize in African-American contributions to science and technology, especially during the World War II era." "Fascinating material." "How interesting," Annette replied coolly, glancing at her watch. "If you'll excuse me, I have to prep a lecture. Multivariable calculus. Real brainbenders." As she left, Marcus let his smile fade just slightly. He'd been warned about her. "She's a force," whispered a nearby English professor. "Annette believes mathematics is the only real discipline. The rest of us are just decorating the campus." Marcus nodded. "Everyone has their biases, I suppose." What no one in the room realized, what Annette would have laughed off if suggested, was that Marcus Reed had more in common with her than anyone could guess. 3 weeks into the semester, Marcus noticed one of his students, a young black man named Andre Wallace, always stood during lectures even though there were plenty of seats. "Everything okay?" Marcus asked after class. Andre shifted uncomfortably. "It's nothing. Just prefer standing." "For 90 minutes? That's commitment." Andre looked down, hesitating. "It's my back. I had an issue in Professor Whitaker's class." Marcus frowned. "What kind of issue?" "She has this thing, she makes us do problems at the board. I messed one up, couldn't solve it fast enough. She said I was wasting her time. When I sat down, she tapped me hard with her pointer stick. Said maybe that would speed up my math reflexes." "She hit you?" Marcus asked, stunned. "Not hard," Andre rushed to say. "Not enough to report or anything. Just enough that I can't sit still without it hurting." Marcus breathed in slowly, steadying himself. "Andre, that's not okay. You don't have to tolerate that." "Please don't report her," Andre said quickly. "I need that class to graduate. She already thinks I don't belong there." Marcus paused. "Let me help you with the material. I've got some math background." "You do?" Andre asked, eyes wide. "Yeah. Let's meet a couple times a week. And I want you to visit the campus clinic. They don't have to know what happened, but they should document your injury." "Okay," Andre said reluctantly. "I can do that." Later, Marcus found Annette in the lounge grading papers. "We share a student," he began. "Andre Wallace." Annette looked up, uninterested. "Yes, the one from the back row. Doesn't participate. Another scholarship, admit trying to swim in deep waters. He's engaged in my course. He mentioned struggling in calculus. Some students aren't cut out for advanced mathematics," she said flatly. "Maybe history is more his speed. Memorization over critical thinking." Marcus kept his voice even. "Sometimes teaching methods need to adapt." Andre responds to encouragement. Annette's eyes narrowed. Are you implying my teaching is the problem? I'm saying students learn differently. He's bright. He just needs the right support. She scoffed. While you teach fairy tales about the past, I'm preparing them for the real world. Marcus left that conversation knowing one thing. Change wouldn't come easy. But he would not let this slide. A week later, Annette stormed into Marcus's office. Andre has missed 3 classes, she snapped. I've seen him coming to your office instead. He's been discussing a research project with me. You're pulling him away from essential coursework. Marcus folded his hands. Andre is avoiding your class because of fear. Fear, Professor Whitaker. That's not education. Some students simply don't have the grit, she said sharply. He lacks the mental endurance calculus demands. Marcus stood. He's been unable to sit down due to physical pain from your so-called instructional method. That's not rigor. That's abuse. They stared at each other, tension sparking. You're interfering with my course, she warned. And you're violating basic human decency, he fired back. Their voices had risen. Other faculty members pretended not to listen, but ears were clearly tuned in. This is about standards, Annette hissed. Which I uphold while you coddle students. I'll ensure Andre returns with an advocate and medical documentation, Marcus replied. You humanities types always did love your paperwork, she said before storming off. The showdown had gone public. A week later, at the annual faculty dinner, the tension remained. The chandelier-lit ballroom sparkled, but the air was thick. Annette received an award for her latest calculus textbook. Polite applause. Marcus was recognized for launching an interdisciplinary course on science and culture. Louder applause. Later, in a heated debate over interdisciplinary work, Annette challenged him publicly. If historical knowledge enhances problem-solving, she said with a glint in her eye, perhaps Dr. Reed would care to solve a standard second-year calculus problem. Marcus's eyes didn't flinch. I accept. The room went quiet. The challenge was set. Next Friday, a showdown. That evening, Marcus stayed late, revisiting his old passion. Advanced calculus had once been his world. In college, he'd majored in both math and history until gatekeeping and prejudice in mathematics drove him out. He remembered his mother sitting beside him at the kitchen table. They're asking for more proof, Marcus, she'd said when competition officials questioned his eligibility again. He smiled at her then. I'll just have to be twice as good. And he had been. Now it was time to be better. He began practicing. With Andre at his side, they tackled problem after problem. Andre was blooming his confidence, rebuilding with every session. At the same time, Annette crafted a problem designed to destroy multivariable calculus, optimized constraints, complex structures only graduate students would attempt. He won't even know where to start, she muttered. But she didn't know Marcus Reed. By Friday, the lecture hall buzzed like a hive. Students packed the seats. Faculty lined the back wall. Annette presented her problem, a devilishly complex optimization question. Marcus stepped forward. He studied the board for a long moment. Ah, he said finally. This resembles a technique first described by Hampshire and Williamson. Clever twist. Annette blinked. Marcus began to solve. Not traditionally, but with transformation, a method pioneered by black mathematician Benjamin Banneker centuries before. Gasps spread as he worked. 20 minutes later, he circled the correct answer. Annette stepped forward to check his work. Slowly, painfully, she nodded. It's correct. And, Marcus added softly, the transformation technique was developed by a self-taught astronomer and farmer denied formal education. Silence. Then, applause. The room erupted. Even Annette couldn't deny the truth. This wasn't just a win. It was a revelation. Over the coming weeks, things began to change. Annette started incorporating historical context into her lectures. She read about Banneker, about David Blackwell. She apologized first to Marcus, then to Andre. The university took notice. A new interdisciplinary program launched, co-chaired by 2 unexpected allies, Professor Annette Whitaker and Dr. Marcus Reed. A year later, the freshman orientation was held in that same lecture hall. Now, Dean Whitaker stood at the podium. At Langford, she said, we believe that true knowledge lies at the intersection of ideas. In the audience, Marcus and Andre, now a senior, sat side by side, smiling. As the students mingled, Annette joined Marcus. "That speech," he said, "felt personal." "It was," she replied. "Thanks to you." Marcus shook his head. "Thanks to you for evolving." She offered a rare, genuine smile. "Let's walk together. It sets a better example." And they did. Two professors who had once stood on opposite sides of a divide, now crossing it together. Because in the end, the equation that mattered wasn't about numbers or dates. It was simple.